Friday night just got legit retro legends at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern on Papa Brad's Gaming this Friday at the Metronome. There you go.
Get ready, gamers! Retro Legends is here, your ultimate destination for high-score battles, pinball wizardry, and classic arcade showdowns. Every week, we bring you the best in virtual pinball and classic arcade gaming, where you can compete for glory on live online leaderboards through iScored. You think you got what it takes? Step up and prove it. Because every Friday night we're throwing down with 2 legendary pinball tables in an all-time classic arcade game. And the best part, every giveaway and prize on this show will go straight to you, the gamers who are putting up and keeping the competition fierce. Because Retro Legends isn't just a show, it's a community, a place for arcade warriors to show up, compete, and keep that high score spirit alive. That's right, Friday night just got legit. And remember, choice in home arcade shows is good for everybody. More competition, more fun, more ways to level up your game. So hit that subscribe button, join the leaderboard, and let's make history, one high score at a time. This is Retro Legends.
Couple months ago, it was just we all got really used to doing the Flipper Friends, and Flipper Friends is really fun, but it added an element of, you know, it wasn't so much who was going to do the best in a limited amount of time, it was who's going to put in a lot of attempts to get that high score. So I was like, you know, that's fun, but I also would like to have a competition where, you know, it's game time. Like you get 3 games and you got to perform. And as far as AtGames right now, they don't have a head-to-head implementation. PK has said that it might be something that's coming. But anyways, I thought, you know, what better way than to just do it ourselves? A lot of us have the capability, and we are already streaming anyways. Mm-hmm. Let's do a heads-up tournament where we have 8 of us, and then we do some head-to-head, and we start off with a group stage, and we get into a Final Four. Let's do it where we all do head-to-head live on YouTube or Twitch, and then see who's the best in a 3-game stretch. Not 100, not 200.
It's incredible gameplay, though. Watch when he gets the multi-ball, how calm he is, how much control he has.
All right, what do you think of that, buddy?
Man, how do you follow that? First of all, let me say maximum respect. TomatoGrass, you truly are a pinball wizard. That was like watching a ballet. When you have the multi-ball, you're so calm. This is what expert level, high level AtGames pinball, this is what it looks like. Man, I am in the presence of a true legend in the AtGames pinball community, a legit bona fide pinball wizard. Welcome to Papa Brad's Gaming, TomatoGrass. I'm so glad you're here. I am honored just to be able to play with you. A master of pinball is a true treat. So people are in for a treat tonight. Not with me, but with watching your gameplay.
Well, I appreciate those kind words, Brad. You know, I'm just glad that we were all able to get this tournament together. Glad that everybody's having a really good time. And it's definitely going to be something that we keep doing in the future. But as of right now...
No! Almost to the 250. We got an extra ball, but that's it. 224 million. Congratulations, TomatoGrass. You are the man. 224 million. I don't need to get into the details.
All right, buddy. Well,
that's game, man.
Looks like that's game. I didn't update the score, but I had almost 4 billion. That was cool.
Yeah, that's game. That's game, man. I just want to say congratulations. Man, I am in the presence of a true legend in the AtGames pinball community, a legit bona fide pinball wizard. Welcome to Papa Brad's Gaming, TomatoGrass. I'm so glad you're here. I am honored just to be able to play with you. A master of pinball is a true treat. So people are in for a treat tonight. Not with me, but with watching your gameplay.
Well, I appreciate those kind words, Brad. You know, I'm just glad that we were all able to get this tournament together. Glad that everybody's having a really good time. And it's definitely going to be something that we keep doing in the future. But as of right now...
All right. Let me get that off the screen. Hold on one sec. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Retro Legends Show. We got a massive show planned for you tonight. And without further ado, I'm going to bring on someone I really respect. It's TomatoGrass. Welcome to Retro Legends.
Hello. Good to be here, Brad.
Good to see you. And, if you're not familiar with TomatoGrass, tell them a little bit about your channel and what you do, TomatoGrass.
All right. So I was never a big player in the HD scene, but when they came out with the 4K, I bought that day one. And I played the death out of it. You know, I played that thing probably, like I usually say, probably like 40 to 50 hours a week on top of working. It was every free minute that I could get when that thing came out, I was playing it. And I just had a knack for it. And then they started doing those Flipper Friends tournaments. And I was like, hey, let's see how I stack up. And then it turned out that I was actually doing pretty good. So I was like, you know, I'm just going to stream every time I do this tournament. And I've been doing that since, that was 9 months ago now. And I've been streaming every week for the past 9 months.
It's
getting
phenomenal.
better and better every week.
The thing is, not only do you play the games, like you teach the people who are still learning how to play pinball, you teach them all the tricks and all the high score hacks, everything you can do to be a great player. And I want to talk about this real quick. The IFPA just ranked every AtGames pinball player. And if you look, it's between you and Mad Ben Hand on most games, but officially you are the number 2 ranked player in the world at AtGames Pinball. And we see a lot of the people from the Battle of the Streamers, which is something you're doing right now. I see Skull Joe on there. I see Mad Ben Hand. We have Dave LB who watches this show, Skull Joe, AI. So like we see a lot of these players. And it's great. We have a great community building of people that are actually playing pinball. Don't you agree with that?
I would absolutely agree with that. I would say that, when I came onto this scene and I was kind of just doing my YouTube thing, it was kind of like I was like nobody, right? And I didn't know anybody. And then along the way, it's like, you know, you make one friend here, you make another friend there, and next thing you know, there's a whole bunch of us that are, you know, we're all trying to beat each other. We're all friendly about it, and it's just been it's been a great experience. And I say all the time that getting that machine honestly changed my life. You know, I have made a lot of friends, and you know, it's something that I can look forward to like every day. So that's what it's become.
Awesome. Do you want to say a little bit about Battle of the Streamers before I bring on the rest of our guests?
Yeah, sure. I'll talk about it for just a
Okay.
minute. So like I said, originally we were doing that Flipper Friends tournament, which is great. And I have no ill will towards that. And I still try to compete when I can. But it was around the holidays last year that I started getting really busy. And it became evident that, you know, Flipper Friends is great, but it's really more geared towards who's going to grind, who's going to put in a lot of attempts.
When you can play 60 games, you know, you might get that one strike of lightning, right? But
right, and it's a numbers game. It's just like the law of large numbers, right? So that, like, you know, players who might not have as much of a chance, now they really have no chance, you know. So and then players who are good, like, you know, when I was trying to really place really high in those tournaments early on, it wasn't just because I was playing 1 or 2 games. It's because I was playing 100, you know. And when you don't have that kind of time anymore, it was something I was like, I still wanted to compete. And you got guys like Ben who are just unbelievable. Like that guy, like he can like.
Well, you develop the skills by playing so much too. I mean, like, you can watch when you play. It's just like you're so comfortable. You know, I get a multi-ball, I'm freaking out, and you're completely calm. You know, and you're like putting the balls on each flipper and juggling them. It's insane. So like, there's a beauty to it. Like when you start playing a lot, you realize how much strategy and how much actual skill goes on playing pinball.
And that's why I don't want to understate, you know, how great it's been doing the Flipper Friends, because it forced you to put in all those attempts, and that's where I learned. But then it got to a point where, you know, I still wanted to compete, and I wanted some other people to feel like they had a chance, because, you know, I'm thinking not so much in my perspective, but think about the person that, you know, might be a top 10, top 20. And then they get to these Flipper Friends tournaments, and it's like, I have no chance against a guy like Ben. You know, he's gonna put up a super high score, and because, you know, if he doesn't get it the first game, he'll get it the second, third, 10th, 20th. He'll get it. I don't have.
You've kind of assembled the Avengers or the Justice League of the AtGames pinball players with all the greatest players, and we're all going against each other in the Battle of the Streamers.
And that's what I wanted to get to, is that, you know, so I started this Battle of the Streamers because I said, what is pinball really? Because this Flipper Friends has kind of made it drift away from what the game really is. The game is, you put the quarter in, you got 3 balls. And what's your score? You know, that's what the game is. But the game isn't about, that ball was not bad, but that ball was bad. I'm going to restart. That game was
like
bad.
When you're playing a tournament, you can't just reset, right? You can't say, oh, I didn't get the skill shot, I'm going to reset each time.
So I decided, I was like, let's figure out a way to make it so that we all have limited attempts. And AtGames doesn't have a structure right now, or some sort of way to implement it where you can verify that you only do a certain number of attempts. But a lot of us were streaming anyways, and I was like, well, then that's a really good way to, you know, verify that somebody's playing 3 balls. Let's all do the streaming thing. You know, the fact that it's a heads up thing is just cool. Like,
well, I mean, the pressure's real when you stream a game live. Like, it's totally, you know, you have the 3 games, and you have to make the best of it, and the pressure is on. So it is a totally different experience when you're playing live. I don't want to keep my guests backstage, so we're gonna invite everyone on.
Sounds good.
But I'm gonna invite everyone to go into the description of this video and subscribe to TomatoGrass. He is a fantastic pinball player. He's a true pinball wizard. It's a true honor to have you sit in here with us. We're going to start with AtGames. We've got literally a legend in here with us tonight. We got a legend. Hey, what's up, Glen?
What's up, Papa Brad?
Well, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. We know they call him the Godfather of home arcade.
Oh, because I'm old.
It's great to see you. It's great to see you, Glen. And I know you've got some great news that you're going to be sharing with us. And I brought in another friend. Welcome to the show, Brooklyn Menace.
Muted.
Your mic's not on, Brooklyn.
Sorry.
There we go. That's better.
I was just so upset. I turned my mic off because I was angry and yelling because when you said you were bringing a legend on and then you put Glen up before me, I was like, what the hell is going on? I thought I was the legend.
I'm sorry, man.
But you do have the two Godfathers. He is the godfather of retro gaming. And I am the newly crowned godfather of VR gaming in the retro home arcade community.
VR in a minute.
Oh, awesome.
We're going to talk about some VR in a minute, which is great. Okay, I'm going to fly through this AtGame news. We got a massive show. I mean, we got a big show lined up. The first thing I just wanted to just talk about the IFPA rankings. How do you feel about that, TomatoGrass? I just wanted to get some quick opinions about AtGames. We'll put you up here with me since you are the #2 player in the world at AtGames in pinball.
I think it's great. I think it's definitely a step in the right direction for us virtual players who don't have that opportunity to play in some of these tournaments, these live tournaments. And I would just like to see them just expand on that. Because like I said, there's no ill will towards flipper friends, but that's, you know, a lot of these guys that are playing in these other tournaments, they're not doing what we're doing in flipper friends. They're not playing 100 games and see who's the best. It's all about, you know, who's performing when the pressure's on. So I'm hoping that at some point AtGames can figure out a way to implement some sort of tournament kind of like
well, I think tournaments are the future for them growing that platform with the 4K pinball.
Absolutely.
We're gonna fly through the AtGames news. The other big thing from AtGames, I have a video on my channel. It's probably gonna get up to 1,000 views soon on Medieval Madness, Getaway, and Junkyard. This is arguably one of the best pinball packs that AtGames has released. What do you think of this pinball pack?
I played Medieval Madness last night for the first. Like, I've never played it in real life or like obviously virtually. I played it for the first time last night and I streamed it. It was a lot of fun, and it blew my mind, honestly. I mean, it's just I think Medieval Madness is a perfect table, and I'm sure in real life it's a perfect machine.
Yeah,
and it's just like it was everything that, like, you know, every machine, every table that you play, it's kind of like it's really good, but it's got this one thing, or I wish they would have done this. Medieval Madness, literally everything is that's exactly how I would have wanted that, so that's perfect.
We'll take a quick look at it, a real quick look. And that of course is Medieval Madness. Have you played Medieval Madness, Glenn? I'll bet you have.
I have, and it's a great looking table. That's the thing, you know. It's a beautiful looking table as well. So
it's one of those Williams. It's one of those Williams masterpieces to me. I gave this pinball pack. I gave two of these tables, in my opinion, are S tier, which I call the best that you can get for AtGames, and that would be the Getaway, High Speed 2, and Medieval Madness. And they have a good game. Surprisingly fun on a cabinet is the Junkyard game. Okay, we're going to just fly through the rest of the AtGames news real quick. Let me make sure I don't miss anything. I made some notes real quick. So the next thing we're going to look at is a Primal Carnage Retro, which is a new table's coming out. I got a 40-second clip. Let's check that out. Okay. And
dude, that sounds awesome. Like, I was just listening to that in my headphones. That is going to sound sick on the 4KP.
And this one is a retro table. It's got those little flippers. This isn't really my favorite type of table, but I'm not going to write it off yet. But I haven't played it. But other AtGames news, they have the ALU Ultimate. The CE HD is on sale at Sam's right now for $4.99. Primal Carnage Retro, end of the month. And they added Medieval Madness into this list. So this week for Flipper Friends, the games will be Addams Family, Dinosaur Dynasty, Black Belt, Big Shot, and Medieval Madness. So that's pretty cool. They added those in. And let me get rid of that. Okay.
I like the design of that table. It's completely different than what you would normally get with those flippers all separated like that.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy looking, huh? What do you think about that table, TomatoGrass?
A lot of these retro tables, I think that, they're very, like, it's very love them or hate them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's table by table too, because some of the designs are, they're really out there. Like they have flipper, like I know, like it was like a House of Diamonds retro where it's got like flippers like way off to the side, but I really can't ever have an opinion on them until I play them. And I
can't either. It's hard. It's too hard to tell, right? You never know what's going to be fun and what's not going to be fun. It can look fun, but it cannot be fun, right?
And that's the thing. So like sometimes it can look awesome, and then you play it, and it's like, I just don't like that mechanic. It's not fair. And then sometimes you'll look at a table, and it's like, it doesn't look like a cup of tea. And then you play it, and you're like, dude, this is cool. Like this is a shooter's table. Like I like trying to get a high score on this because it's difficult but fair. And that's you got to give them all a fair chance. So it's hard to have an opinion if you haven't played it.
Okay, awesome. And then here's just one more time that games they got it for $4.99. It's in Sam's Club right now. They're also running a sale, spring sale, so you can check that out if you're interested. Let me go check into the chat. Hey, what's up? Madman Han is here. Welcome to the chat.
The man, the myth, the legend.
We got Chalada Love here. Good to see you, Chalada Love. And we're going to jump into checking out we played this game all week, Mr. Do. Frogger we played all week. We played Frogger. And so Brooklyn Menace, you want to help me with reading out this? Who's in dead last, Brooklyn?
I am.
Who's in dead last?
I was surprised. You usually show two lists. I'm surprised I'm even on the first one. Unless we're all the people that played.
This is Brooklyn.
That is the second.
This is the bottom of the list.
Well, yes, then I am exactly where I belong.
There was massive competition in this Frogger. I could not believe it. Glen, we started people were getting 10,000 and above, and I was just like, this is insane, because I couldn't believe people could push Frogger this far. So, let's just read off the names. Brooklyn Menace.
1,000.
Thank you. You don't need to do the sport. Just say the names.
That guy sucks.
We don't need to know the sport.
Checkout girl.
Thanks for playing. High scores on tap.
Girl tomorrow night.
The one and only T. McCloskey. Arcade Talk. Who's above? I have a camera from. I can't see too good.
Wyo.
Okay, Wyo. Then we're going to the next page. Gregory, Amused to Death. Dave LB. Chalada
Gregory
Love.
Tomorrow night too.
House of Hounds. But look how big the scores are getting.
Gregory, I'm just going to play you in person and beat you.
Dang! Who gets the first place up there? Dang!
Then we got
Rexer.
Then we got the insanity. Once we broke the 10,000 point barrier, it got crazy. With we were all competing all week, but you can see, I got 15,000. Sacro just edged me out by a little bit. Nick's got 35,000, and Rexer got 51,000.
Rexer, man.
So the Rexer show, man, he killed it, man. He killed it. And actually what happens if you get far enough, Glenn, it actually gets easy again. After you get past the fifth rack of putting all the frogs.
No, that's not true.
It does, yeah. That actually does. And there's, when you get to the fifth stage, you know how there's the last part where you got to hop the frog into the little home? There's only one thing that goes across, and it's one of those crocodiles.
Right.
And you have to time it just right because it's only one. There's one single one that runs from side to side.
You know what gets me about those old games, honestly? He's a frog. Why does he die when he goes in water? It's like turtles. Why do they die when they go in water? It makes no sense.
Doesn't make no sense. It does.
Makes no sense.
So
how does Rexer do this, man? He's
good.
Yeah, it's insane. What he can do with some of these retro games.
He's good at the four ways.
Just play for hours.
He's good at the four ways.
I played that one terrible game on the live stream and never touched it again.
Wow. Well, I love Frogger. I had so much fun playing it. I played it all week long. So
I love Frogger.
We have Wipeout, which is currently a game that's in the Battle of the Streamers right now. We had Dave LB. We have T. McCloskey, Sacro. We have YO. Then there's me. And you want to read the top
right at
list?
The top. But boom.
Yeah. Nick's Reviews, Chilada Love, House of Hounds, TomatoGrass. And that was our pinball for the week. Our second pinball, and that's Wipeout. It's like a skiing themed pinball from Gottlieb. And then our other pinball we played was Monster Bash. And Monster Bash, these were the scores. And we had Gregory played. We had a lot of good players. And then these were the top dogs. T. McCloskey, Dave LB, Nick's Reviews, Chilada Love, YO, and BalyDern was the top. Okay. So we're going to...
A lot of good players, but all you guys are making everybody else work harder and get better at these games.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And the way it works, you can just drop your score on iScored. There's some links in the description of this video. Or you can use the following QR codes. This week, we're playing 3 new games. Glenn, you picked the arcade game. What's the arcade game for this week?
Asteroids Deluxe.
Asteroids Deluxe.
Thanks, Glenn.
Nice.
Great game.
Then, of course, we have the classic game, Addams Family Pinball, and Sea of Thieves will be our Zachariah Pinball, our magic.
Could you just put me in last place for next week, just now? Just get it out of the way.
Okay. And let me check in with the chat here. Let's see what we got going on. Yes, the TomatoGrass guy is pretty good. Carlos says those are some big scores. Yeah. Yeah, Rexer definitely did bring it. He put in some really big scores. So, Glenn?
F you, Papa Brad.
F you. So, Wookie, first of all, I just want to show, I don't have all the pictures, but I do have some cool pictures. Maybe you could just lead us through what some of these pictures are. This is the first picture. Tell me about this picture.
Yep. So this is the what the Build-a-cade FU, which stands for Family Unit, Fun Unit, or U Unit. Unless it's Arcade 1-Up, then it's definitely the other FU.
Okay.
So the one on the right-hand side is the 19-inch, which is a electronic rotating screen.
So I can go horizontal or vertical view on the monitor. It rotates.
Right now it's horizontal. Actually, I'll show you in a minute. It rotates. So it's done through our operating system called Arcade.
Okay.
Or you can press a button, and when you pick, let's say, Pac-Man, the screen will automatically go horizontal on that screen.
Okay.
And the joysticks will lock into a 4-way mode. You can see we have 2 joysticks with my gates restrictors on it. And then you have the illuminated trackball, and then we have 6 buttons, a real coin door, a metal coin door that actually functions as a coin door, not plastic. And then on the other side, we have the 26-inch Unico 4.3 screen. Now that one does not electronically rotate, but you can pull it out. I think it's similar to what the Mini, the Legends Mini. Rotate it, switch it back in. We have micro switches in both of them, so they report to the operating system what mode they're in, and then the game will go into that particular mode.
And of course, these are running the Viper Venom,
this is the new one.
Which is a single board computer that you've developed, right? With
Correct.
A team
this
of people.
one is a 2nd generation. So in my standard Build-a-cade and a couple of projects, we have the Viper, which is a 3566, which is still pretty powerful. It's like a Raspberry Pi 3 and 4. It's like in between those two. But the Venom is a 3588, and that one is more powerful than a Pi 5. So honestly, with the memory we have in there and the processor we have in there, it's a beast. And that one will be running it now. You can still use... We have space in the back. You can still use a full PC if you wanted to, or something else. But we do include the Viper Venom with both the 19-inch and the 26-inch.
Okay, and this is a multi-cade, so this is made to play all the arcade games. So it's you can play thousands of games in this machine.
Yep, the Arcade OS has a downloader built in. You have to accept a license agreement saying that you're legally entitled to the games you're downloading. But then you could download MAME, you could download Dreamcast, PlayStation, directly into the system, which is key. But the best part, I think, is that we allow certain emulators support NetPlay, so you can play like Streets of Rage here and in Texas or anywhere you want, and it's still compatible with my 1/6 scale. So if someone has a 1/6 scale Build-a-cade with a Viper, you could do that. we'll be releasing a Viper for the X Arcade. So if you have the X Arcade, you can do it on that as well. So the Viper ecosystem and arcade ecosystem will be outside even the Build-a-cades. So as long as you have one, you can still co-op play with your friends and do like iScored like you're doing it here.
Yeah,
and everybody would be in the same ecosystem.
Correct.
I can be here on my iArcade. Question for you, Glenn. Is it easy to just swap the Viper for a Venom?
Yeah, they'll be completely pin compatible, so you can definitely swap them out. The only difference is obviously the Venom is require a little bit more power, only because it's the processor and it's got more RAM. The regular Viper is a 3566 with 2 gigabytes of onboard RAM and 32 gig of flash storage internally. But the Venom most likely will have at least 8 gigabytes of RAM, 3588 chipset. It's just a more powerful beast.
Let me explain that all to you in my terms. I played my Frogger game on there. My high scores were on your arcade, so it had no problem running Frogger. Just so you know.
Oh yeah, well the 3566 is still a very powerful chipset, and the GPU on it is more powerful than what's on a 3 and pretty comparable to what's on a Pi 4, but a lot more inexpensive. But the key is, there's RetroPie. There's Batacera, there's all different things you can run on them. Now, Arcade is based off of Batacera. So that's our foundation, but it's been highly customized for the Arcade chipset. In fact, on the AtGames Legends, you can run the Arcade Legends Unleashed, which is a version of Arcade that's on a flash card that would actually work in the Legends. And it runs on their
I didn't even know. So you could actually run the on the arcade software with AtGames as well.
Correct, right for flash drive. Cool. That's right.
That's pretty cool. Tell me a little bit about this picture I pulled from this morning. What is this?
So this is we just posted that today. So the FU, the first version we released, was a little deformed. Not deformed, but the shape was not right. So we had to go back and have a new molds cut, and this is perfect. So this is basically what the standard, what we call Glentendo version of the FU. So you can actually add a hood, which would clip into that curve you see there and make it look like basically a Donkey Kong or a Popeye type of cabinet.
And the inspiration was you made these cool like mini arcades.
Correct.
And basically this is like a full size one of these. You can actually turn this into any kind of custom machine you want. I mean, you can see there's a Donkey Kong, there's a Popeye, there's,
Play Choice 10, Neo Geo,
all kinds of cool things. And it's kind of like a gigantic Build-a-cade, isn't it? What you're coming out with.
Right. See, the whole thing really started. The whole thing really started because, I wanted my own little Donkey Kong cabinet. That was what I really wanted one, like to fit with New Wave toys. I love New Wave toys. Shiloh, me, great friends. And I love it. And I asked my friend Gary, who's Arcade Workshop, and I have a 3D printer, and just so happens the build plate is just right at the 1/6 scale build. I said, Gary, listen, can you make me a Donkey Kong? He goes, yeah, we did it for a few weeks, and we did it. And after I got it, I said, this thing's really neat, and I know a lot of people would like this. So we took the kit, we made it more simple. It's injected molded, but it is a build. It's a Build-a-cade. You build it yourself. We actually went, and we actually had it. It's STEM certified. Now, being a teacher, STEM certification is a big deal. So we are STEM certified with that 1/6 scale. And like I said, you could turn it into pretty much anything with Joe Sabo's Arcade or Arcade Graphics or Escape Pod. Put the artwork on there, and we have, of course, interchangeable joysticks, just like the FU. So basically, you could take that control deck, just lift up, pull it out, slide another one in, and drop it down, and you have a trackball. Or you can have Star Wars. You can have Akari Warriors, or Ascendant Target Pros will go right in.
But like this, you can have steering wheels. Look at this. Look at all this cool stuff. Look at this. You could have Akari joysticks. You could do a trackball with nothing around it. You can do, what's this one? Tron.
Flight stick.
Yep.
And we have other flight stick set up.
Well, other ones we're working on. We're definitely working on a Paperboy. deck. And
is that the GR? I take it that's going to be the GRS yoke, right? Because you made your own yoke. Your own like
no yokes about it. That's my yoke. Best one in the world.
We can't call it the Star Wars controller. What do we call it? The Space Opera Simulator.
Yes, we call it that too. Just the
controller.
Space Opera show, but we also want to make a Paperboy controller. We want to make Battlezone and 720. Those are the big ones people are still asking for. Now they won't be available for the Kickstarter, but those are definitely controllers that are planned in the future.
Awesome.
I gotta say, I've seen
like
most
Mikey
of
Yoon's
these.
Down, so we're gonna look for Mikey Yoon to be one of those early backers.
Yeah, he's gonna love it. I've seen most of the Build-a-cades in person. In times I've hung out with Glen.
Impressive, yeah.
It's what's amazing is that they all start out the same, but actually when you see them, they all look so different. It's amazing what some of the stuff you can do. I have the Donkey Kong kit for mine.
Question from Hockey Town Arcade. Glenn, will the decks be swappable with the Glintendo hood installed?
Yes. So we're making it so even with the hood installed, the deck will still lift forward, pull forward, and you can put them in. So the answer to that is yes. Once you put the hood on, you don't need to remove it, especially on the 19-inch, because that screen electronically rotates.
Awesome. I've been using your arcade parts for years, so I'm very familiar with what I'm getting. And the hard part is, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was the key. A lot of arcade companies, they buy other people's parts, right? Whether it's inexpensive or good, you don't know. And they take other people's parts and they put it in a shell and they sell it. So we did it the opposite way. We started making all the parts, right? And actually, a lot of companies use our parts. X-Arcade uses our joysticks and spinners and buttons. American Gear Company, obviously New Wave Toys, just to name a few. The BalyDern uses our stuff. So we manufacture parts that a lot of people use. And we started saying to ourselves, just like, I know you guys are younger than me, but back in the day, there were calculators, right? TI would sell the chips, and Commodore and other companies make the calculators. TI goes one day, why don't we just make the damn calculator ourselves? And that's what they did. And Commodore, same thing. They bought Moss Technologies. If you make the chip, you know exactly what you have. You can control the costs, and you can pass the saving on to the end user. And to be honest, we don't have endless pockets. TomatoGrass doesn't.
We work hard for our money.
Right, we work very hard for our money.
I'm just a working class Joe. No one's sending me all this stuff for free.
No, and gas is expensive. You buy eggs, it's like $12 for like 5 eggs. So everything's expensive. So if I could do something out there to make something that is superior to other people at a lower cost, I'm going to do it. And that's what the FU is all about. When that Kickstarter launches, we would have launched it before, but with tariffs and things that came into play, obviously, I was getting worried. Like, listen, I made a guarantee. I wanted under $1,000 for this, so I went back. I beat up my people, which are not happy with me. But I am now very happy with, even with the tariffs in place, the price is going to be, like I promised, under $1,000 for the 19-inch rotating screen with the ultimate control panel, real coin door, light up marquee, everything. Well, for the 26-inch screen, but the deals we're going to have when the Kickstarter launches, our early bird specials are going to be insane. Like right now, my Akari stick is at 40% off right now. I'm selling for like $46, which is insane for the best and only rotating joystick on the planet.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. You have the controls down, and you've proven yourself that you make good hardware. I got to cover these super chats real quick. We got Arcade Talk, gifted 5 Papa Brad's gaming memberships. Thank you so much. Can you read this one for me, Brooklyn?
Sure. Shout out to GE Force Guy with that $4.99 super chat. Papa Brad is the hardest working man in home arcade, and I'm the hardest working man in VR. 100% facts.
There we go. And
TomatoGrass is the hardest working in pinball. I got to mention him too. Come on.
TomatoGrass is a legend.
Hey, come on, now.
Legend here today.
got a really nice hat. That's
She
all I
does.
noticed.
That cowboy
She was wearing a hat. I didn't notice.
That cowboy
What hat?
She wears that.
Glenn,
hat
you have a
really,
really nice hat too.
See, I
wears
notice
that hat
hats.
really well.
I'm a hat guy.
Hey, Glenn, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Even though it's Brad's show. Any chance we're going to see you at any of the conventions this year?
I might be. Maybe, but not as a guest or a vendor. I wasn't invited to be at the shows, and they only seem to want me if I'm spending tons of money to like promote the show. So I'm like, you know what? I can't afford that, because if I'm spending that kind of money, it comes out of what I could do for you guys. So it's not worth it to me to spend $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 to promote a show. Especially what kills me, and I don't care if they're mad or not. It really gets me. They're like, "Well, Glenn, you sell stuff," and actually, every show I've gone to, you were there, Brooklyn. I don't sell anything. I show my stuff. I don't sell anything, not a dime.
People order it.
However, the YouTubers who they do allow there, the influencers they do say, they say I'm not. I'm a vendor. They're selling books. They're selling cartridges. They're selling pins. They're selling everything. I don't sell a thing. So
yeah, you show off your products, but you guide people where to go if they're interested. But he doesn't bring physical products with him and he's not selling them.
Make people happy, play the games, but the people, they say I'm not an influencer, but the influencers are selling stuff all over the place. I'm like, you know what? I'm good.
We got a question here from Sacro. Can you answer this one? At Glen's Retro Show, is the Arcade OS something that can be loaded on any PC to broaden the ecosystem, or is it only baked into the Viper?
The great question, and I've actually talked to the team about that. But right now, the Arcade OS is concentrated on the arcade chipset. So that'd be like the Viper, the Viper Venom, or like I said, the AtGames products. The AtGames Legends Ultimate, the Mini runs on an arcade chipset. Now they do support other products that run on an arcade chipset, but unfortunately not an x86 or anything else. I wish they would, because the operating system is so damn good. They have a software downloader, built-in support for light guns, built-in support for all the GRS products, built-in support for AlLink's Pixelcade or LCD. It's all baked in already. It's just a really good operating system.
Okay. And I'm sure this is going to be all over YouTube when you get closer to your Kickstarter. So I look forward to seeing FU Arcade come out. I know I can speak for the quality of everything you've made. It's very high quality. I put the Viper mod into my iArcade Gold, my Space Invaders, and I'm really enjoying it. Glenn, what do you think about this mug?
Before I get on that one, just say real quick.
What do you think about that?
You have the iArcade. The iArcade with the Ultimate Control Panel and the KVM is basically a junior of the FU. So
like a
Papa
baby
Brad
FU.
has it, and that's
I have the
basically
baby
FU.
FU.
Exactly. But as far as this next one you showed from New Wave Toys, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I like quirky little things. Now, it's not going to be cheap, about $300. It's a hologram. I'm dying to see how they do that. But as far as the gameplay, it's not going to be something to play. It's really, in my opinion, it's not. It's something you're going to put on your shelf and people are going to look at. So do you want to spend $300 for eye candy? This particular case, I do. Because I think Shiloh is really trying to do something unique. I can tell you right now, I played that game back in '83, and it's not a good game. It's not like Dragon Slayer Space.
It's not like Dragon Slayer Space.
No, it's not a good game, but it's one of those games I like the most. When you see it in person, you definitely are going to at least walk over and give it a shot.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a cool conversation piece for sure. I mean,
so when that announcement just came out of the blue, if they would have given me 100 cabinets to pick from what they were going to put out, and that would have been my last pick. So I'm shocked that they're doing that. And
I don't think anyone would have picked that.
I'm so curious to see how that's going to just look and play on that smaller scale.
Well, it's definitely doable. I did my show last week where I did the hologram. It took me like 5 minutes to set up. I did it on, actually behind me over here. So it's doable. But again, it's going to be eye candy. And again, Shiloh loves when people make those little, they build little arcade machines and dolls and stuff. He likes that. And I think that cabinet, as far as that goes, it's something that no one really would do. So I think that's cool. But I would have liked to have seen Battlezone or Scramble or Rally X or so many other games before this one. But we'll see. I mean, he did a poll, so he's polling everyone to see if they actually do want it.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, we like to be very politically incorrect. So on this show, we got the Retro Legends Retro Babe. You have to identify who it is in the chat and rate her from 1 to 10. Y'all ready to check out this week's Retro Babe?
10.
This is what I've been here for, waiting.
We've had some good ones. We've had some good ones so far. So here's this week's Retro Babe. Let's check it out. Let's see. Hold on a second. Well, there you go.
Suddenly, I'm feeling my skin's feeling a little dry. I may have to just go grab some lotion.
A little hot in here. Hey, man,
I have no idea who that is, Brad. I'm not even kidding.
Jennifer Connelly.
I'd like to know.
Yeah. So
ex-wife.
Looks a little bit like my ex-wife.
You did well. You did well, Glenn. So this week's pinball table will be the Addams Family. And what do you think about that table, TomatoGrass, the Addams Family?
It's a classic. It's the best-selling pinball machine of all time for a reason, obviously. So it's one of those games that now that they fixed the lag on AtGames, honestly, it's one of the best on the machine, and it's just one of those It's got that. Some of these games have that that one more game factor. It's I didn't, maybe not that game, but one more game. Maybe not that game, but one more game. And that game certainly has it. It's got just the right amount of theming, just the right amount of tough, difficult shots, and it's just a great game. And honestly, I didn't see that it was on your list. It makes me want to go back and play it. Because that's a great game, and I want to go back and play it. So I will.
Have you played the Addams Family, Glenn? Pinball.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yep.
As a matter of fact, you were talking for a little while about even making a little miniature pinball, weren't you? Like Kickstarting, or if you had enough people that watched the video.
It's actually, God, I think it's over 9 months now. It was to get 10,000 views. If I get 10,000 views and likes, whatever, on this video, we were going to build a 1/6 scale pinball, which with a 7-inch main screen, a 5-inch back screen, accelerometers, physical, mechanical, plunger. Just hit it for
like a small scale, right? Like
on a small scale. Yep.
On a small, like a tiny one.
Yep, but
like
after all this time,
like a miniaturized pinball
yeah,
machine.
and it would run virtual pinball, but we only got 6,000 views at it. So I'm like, okay, I guess people weren't that interested in it.
Yeah, yeah. How much would you think that would have run to make, though? It probably would have been pretty expensive.
No, not too bad. I think we could have did it for under 300.
Under 300, okay.
Yeah, I do. Because,
well, maybe after the FU, okay? Right?
Well,
maybe
it's still there.
If
video ever hits 10,000, if video ever hits 10,000, we would consider it. But I was really shocked that it didn't blow up faster, you know? But it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Okay. Awesome. So we're gonna jump into we were talking about Addams Family. I'm gonna do a quick video on just how do you play Addams Family. We'll take a quick look at that since this is the game of the week. Our 3 games, once again, were Addams Family. We're playing Asteroids Deluxe and Sea of Thieves, which is a Magic Pixel table. Let's take a quick look at Addams Family.
Look, everyone, we have guests.
The game starts with a skill shot to Thing's eject saucer, worth 2 million points initially, and an additional 1 million for subsequent shots. The object of the game is to explore the Addams family's mansion, open their bookcase, and steal their treasure. To explore the mansion, a player should try to send a ball to the electric chair or the swamp kickout while the yellow light is lit. This will relight every time a ball is sent up the center staircase and returned down the right flipper lane. The mansion's windows each hold a different award. The window currently lit will be advanced by sending the ball into the game's jet bumper graveyard on the left side of the playfield. Some mansion awards are kind of traditional, like quick multi-ball and light extra ball. But others are all Addams Family, like the Mamushka, which elevates all playfield values for a short time.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Then there's Fester's Tunnel Hunt, a time sequence where shots to the game's 3 tunnels result in generous point awards.
Perhaps it's in here.
When all 12 awards have been lit, one final trip to the charged electric chair will score 50 million points, light the specials, and begin an automatic tour of the mansion.
Look, darling.
To get into multi-ball, you must first take the opportunity to knock on the family's bookcase. 5 knocks will spell greed and clear the way for a shot into the vault. Balls can either be locked there or at 2 other locations, Thing's eject saucer and the swamp. Once 2 balls have been locked, the 3rd ball is sent to either the vault or the electric chair, and multi-ball begins. During multi-ball, the Addams Family power can be seen over the hill portion of the playfield, sending balls in every conceivable direction.
This old man! See the power.
A jackpot will be scored when a ball is sent to the train wreck target during multi-ball.
Jackpot!
Another ball sent to the vault, and a super jackpot will be scored with a shot up the left staircase.
Double jackpot!
If a player fails to score a jackpot during multi-ball, he can get another chance by sending the ball to Thing within a specified time period. Thing will take the ball and multi-ball will be restarted, giving the player another chance at a jackpot.
Good show, old man.
Papa Brad's Gaming. All right, so there was some Addams Family footage.
I played an actual Addams Family in real life over at Pastimes. I did so bad, I tried to blame it on flipper lag.
Yeah, it was a flipper lag on the real table.
Yes, it had to have been.
And I'm gonna tell you, this guy here is the guy you got to go see if you want to learn how to play Addams Family. He's got many streams on his channel where he will show you how to play Addams Family at a very high level.
It's funny that it was like the first week after they did the flipper lag fix. Like I played it in real life and I knew a little bit about it, but it was like after that first week when they fixed all the lag, it was like the floodgates.
It's like a whole new game.
It was like unbelievable. I'm like, okay, well, I was already obsessed with this. Okay, if you're obsessed, what's the next level? Because that's what it was going to be for me. Like I was like, I'm just going to play this till they cut off my power eventually. Like because I'm just going to be sucking all the power. Because it was unbelievable how much better it made the machines. Like it's like I'm spending every waking minute, but I'm actually going to probably spend more time than that because it was just like it was great, and I love that, and that's honestly when I learned the most about that specific table, and it's funny because like. I had never played it too much in real life, and then I learned it on virtual. And then when you go play it in real life, it's like, well, now I got all the knowledge. Like I know what exactly I have to do.
And that's a game changer when you come back across these games after you've learned how to play them, because now you know all the rules, you know where you got to shoot, you know how to play the game.
And it's definitely a little hard. It's definitely harder in real life because things are way more unpredictable. Like when you're playing on a simulation, like you hit something with a certain condition, it's going to do the same thing every time. Whereas you're in real life, you hit that ball on that part of the flipper, it might go this way, it might go that way. Like it's going to bounce a certain way, a certain different way every time. So, but the fact of the matter is that when you're playing pinball, like 3/4 of your score is just knowing what to do and what not to do. And
100%,
that has made my experience going to the pinball arcade better. That's why it's like I love having this thing in my house. It's like my cheat sheet, right? Like I learn the machine here, and then if I want to go play down there, I'll know. They'll be like, "Holy cow, this guy actually knows how to play this machine." Yeah, it's because I learned how to do it over here.
It's incredible, and I'm for anything that helps people get more into pinball. And you know, something big is happening. Something big is happening in VR. What's happening in VR? Brooklyn Menace.
Well, what's happening in VR? If you're talking about pinball, is Zen. What's that?
Yeah, what's happening in VR? Tell us.
Okay, no, you said something else that threw me off. Big in VR, if you are into pinball, is Zen is making their triumphant return to VR with this new Zen Pinball. What's great about this one is it seems like from day one, you're going to get about 4 tables with it, but they seem to be opening up like a bunch of awesome tables to this VR as expansions, like
tables, stuff that we want to play.
But day one, like the first iteration of it was fantastic.
Yeah, we're getting
but it was more like you were in just like your own room, and you can place pick the tables that would show up. You can have like no more than 4 tables on the floor at once. This time they have it in like a really cool environment. And what's even better is they're also integrating in mixed reality. So I can take one of these tables and place it anywhere in my house, or I can potentially even place it over my Legends HD and figure out how to use my HD as the control for it.
Really cool. Imagine if we could show that. Glenn, are you into VR at all? I never asked you.
Glenn's into VR.
I only have the 2. I don't have the 3. I don't have the mixed reality. I'm really enjoying the walkabout golf. I love Iron Man, and I love Vader Immortal. Like I can't get enough of those 2 games. But the golf is fun too. Just kind of go around, just hit the ball. It's
right,
fun.
Glenn's had VR before you had your headset. He's had.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I've had it. Dick.
Well, I didn't have it. So you eventually you told me to wait for the.
Well, I told you to wait for the 3, but
I
remember when Glenn first got his, and he was. I was so happy to see that he got one.
And the pirate game was it? I keep forgetting that stupid name. You always help me, Brooklyn. The pirate game. He's shooting with the 2 guns at the drones.
Space Pirate Trainer.
I
was playing that the other night. Dude, that game is awesome.
That game is awesome. I love that game.
I want to tell you something. If you're Glenn, this won't apply to you.
Thank you, GeForce.
This won't apply to you, Glenn. But Brad, if you're playing, I was playing it the other night and I just ran into the options. If you're playing Space Pirate Trainer on a Meta 3 or 3S, first thing you want to do, go into the settings and turn on the enhanced graphics for the Meta 3. It changes it. It looks so much freaking better. It's an awesome game regardless. But I never realized that they had done that. It doesn't just go to those graphics on its own. You have to turn it on.
Guess what, Brooklyn Mess? A good friend of the channel, kevgret, sent me a video clip. And he said we could actually show it off, and we could show. He has a scoop. He has all the information. He's going to show us it in action. You ready to check out a quick little clip from? This is from the kevgret channel. The clip to the whole video is in the description of this video. We're just going to watch a little snippet of it, though. Okay, so we can see the new virtual reality pinball, and these are the good titles, right? We're talking like
Williams
Tables, Attack from Mars. Let's see what they got. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see this.
Zen Studios announced Pinball FX VR. And we've been waiting for this announcement for a long time as a pinball fan in VR. Zen Studios did have pinball in VR, but they kind of abandoned it years ago. But look at this. This is the trailer that they announced that they're going to be bringing A+ tables to your Quest in VR. And look at this. Knight Rider, Indiana Jones, Xena, the tables we want, Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek, yes. So we are hyped for this. We are hyped for this. And so this announcement was made a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. We got hype, but there's more coming now. So today they announced that they added mixed reality into their VR. So look at this. So now you have their best pinball tables. And now I'm just going to fast forward here just to show you, because this isn't even the announcement. So here is Zen Studios showing off how you can turn your house into a pinball arcade. Basically, you can put the assets anywhere you want. Let me just fast forward here. Look at that. Look how cool that looks. That is a line of pinball machines virtually set in your house. So cool. Looks really fun. And so that is what was announced today. But we're not done. We're not done. Hot off the presses, X-Arcade and Zen Studios join forces to redefine arcade and pinball in VR. Whoa, what does this mean? Look at the first line, ladies and gentlemen. Arcade TV are now fully compatible with Pinball FX VR, launching April 3rd. Woo! So let's read this real quick. Two titans of retro gaming, X-Arcade and Zen Studios, are teaming up to create a pinball and arcade revolution unlike anything before. With over 50 years of combined gaming mastery, this partnership blends the tactile thrills of VR combat with the immersive physics of virtual pinball, bringing an entire arcade into your home. For the first time ever, Arcade 2 TV-XR, horrible name, is fully compatible with Zen Studios Pinball FX VR, launching on April 3rd, 2025. Players can flip, nudge, and launch their way through lifelike tables in VR or dive into classic arcade action. All in one versatile powerhouse gaming machine. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how the nudge is going to work. It would be absolutely insane if you nudge the device. Wow. And then it says here, the closest thing to a time machine is here, and it's full of arcade classics and pinball. The Arcade 2 TV-XR, horrible name, is the only device that lets you experience this perfect blend of old school nostalgia and next-gen innovation from the comfort of your home. Featuring seamless arcade and pinball play, switch between arcade-type brawlers, shooters, and VR pinball action. Pinball FX VR compatibility, feel the rush of true-to-life pinball physics, and stunningly detailed tables in VR. Unrivaled multi-platform support, works with MetaQuest 2, 3, PC, Mac, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, and more. Fully customable height, programmable controls, swappable joystick parts, and RGB lighting. Expanded VR arcade gaming, supports Arcade Ranger from Pumpkin VR, unlocking even more retro-style action in immersive VR worlds. Wow. So further on it says, mixed reality pinball. Besides full immersion pinball, you can experience the thrill of pinball in your living room or wherever you choose, blurring the line between physical and virtual realities. Global campaign mode. Take on pinball mode and campaign. Conquer the districts, beating unique missions for special rewards. Pinball in every form. Enjoy classic gameplay or fun challenges while you climb the global leaderboards. Interactive objects and minigames. The VR arcade also includes minigames and other arcade activities like dartboards, vending machines, and interactive gadgets. A milestone moment for pinball and arcade fans. This collaboration marks a turning point in home gaming by bringing the arcade's authentic sight, sounds, and mechanics into a fully immersive VR experience. Whether you grew up in the golden age of arcades or discovering the magic for the first time, Zen Studios and X Arcades, Arcade 2TV-XR, still a horrible name, make the impossible possible. Woo! This is the biggest VR news of the year, in my opinion. We are now getting the amazing tables in VR, and now you're going to be able to lean over and get that tactile feeling as well as the virtual experience. This is what gaming is all about. This is what virtual reality gamers want, that keep taking the immersion to another level, and that another level is here.
All right,
dude, I'll tell you why, Brad, that is such great news, because there are companies out there, there's Kickstarters and stuff that are trying to actually make what would be a simulated front to a pinball table, right? And you could nudge it and everything, and they are expensive. So for the price that some of these Kickstarters for their product, or getting one of those tank stick, someone tell Kev it's called the tank stick now, tank stick VR. It's a way better price than trying to buy one of those that are just completely designed as pinball. Plus, look at everything else you can do with that tank stick. So you got to imagine when you're playing pinball in VR, everything is to scale. So it really does look like you are standing in front of a life-size pinball table. One of the other things is, one of the issues I always have on my HD is being able to tell the different perspectives on some of these tables. In VR, you can see every detail, every level of the pinball table, no problem. And also the added special effects and things that are going on around you. With, it's
very cool. It's very cool. And this is just a feature. Like, I already have the X Arcade, I already have the Quest, so I just literally have to buy the software. And Glenn, you've done a lot with the X Arcade, right? You do a lot with the controls. I have. And I love the trackball that's in that X Arcade. It's really nice.
One of your
units?
Yep, one of our business partners. So they use our buttons, our joystick, trackball,
really good.
All ours. And I'm excited for this. This looks really.
I'm excited for it too. Cool. But for me, I could tell you, I'm not selling my cabinet anytime soon. How about you, TomatoGrass? Are you selling your cabinet to play on the
AR aspect of things?
I'm good. I'm set.
It's not a replacement for your
replacement
4K.
Like the SSF sound and things like that. Like you can't. I mean, you can't until you play it with the SSF kit in it.
Yeah,
and you
like
see what
Brooklyn's saying, it's not going to be a replacement, but it's going to be a supplement.
But those machines take a lot of space. Pinball machines take up a lot of space. Cool thing.
Exactly, and that's the thing. You're not going to have 20 4KPs lined up in a room, but in virtual reality, if you're someone that's limited on space, you could now really feel like you're standing in front of.
Or you have a spouse that'll
pinball machines
taking up too much space with pinball machines.
You might look. You're gonna feel real cool.
Now I know what they're
That's
talking
true.
about.
You're gonna feel real cool when you're actually playing it. But if someone videoed you what you look like, you're gonna look like a complete
and I'm
silly moron.
assuming, like with other
It's
things
gonna be
they've
awesome.
done in VR,
I love the
you can join your
AtGames.
friends in the whatever pinball group thing you make. You guys can join in and see what you have and play among friends. That's something you really can't do with an ALP.
Awesome! Congratulations
in the real time. You know,
Doc Mario. Congratulations! You got a Godzilla 70th. Congratulations!
I'm happy this time that they seem like they're going to be integrating the VR into the entire ecosystem with the scores. On the last one, you only saw your other friends' scores who were also in VR.
Well,
this one seems like it's opening it to
pinball,
everybody.
leaderboards are a big deal. Like I would not be as into pinball like if I couldn't compete and like see my score go up over time, because you play like arcade games, you play for high score, right? You play to improve that high score. So I mean, leaderboards, it's a big part of pinball. I think, at least to me, it is. But I've been loving the extra. You know what I love doing with it? I love playing my Dreamcast games with it, and I got a modded Dreamcast with GDEMU. And it plays all the classic Dreamcast games. And it's so easy to hook the X-Arcade up to that. There's just like an adapter you get and it plugs in. And it's like having your own little arcade. It's fantastic. It's so much
One thing,
fun.
because I'm the only one in the community that didn't get sent a tank stick. So does it have any kind of like, no, I would doubt it. But does it have any kind of rumble in it?
No, it doesn't have any
that would
kind
be
of
awesome
rumble.
with the pinball.
It actually has this cool thing where it's almost like a desk. Like you adjust the height, and then the top of it's flat.
Yeah.
You almost have like a little desk in front of you. It's a fantastic like if you just want to have something to play arcade games on, like a big ass TV, in your living room. Like if you want to, and it rolls around, which is cool. But I really like the X-Arcade, and
I still say they should put a shelf on it for a projector. That's how I play mine with the projector.
Yeah,
that's designed. You roll it from room to room, throw it up on a wall, and there you go. Or like I said, with the VR. So it's cool.
What's so nice is Glen's gonna be giving me his tank stick. Just out of his
donate. So you can just meet up with him. He'll do the handoff. Let me tell you what, he's not going to be rolling out that stand, though. That stand is freaking heavy, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it weighs.
What's cool now is
it must be like 80 pounds because it literally does not move while you're playing.
I think the stand would be amazing, especially if you're going to plan on using it for a lot of pinball play. But technically, you can possibly figure out a way to set it up because now you can get it without the stand.
Yeah, you can put it on a desk.
So yeah, if you don't want to, spend all the money for everything,
is that stand? I mean, you take up desk
the stand
space
is beautiful.
They have the old tank sticks, which were again, all the stuff from X-Arcade's always been solid, but that stand is helpful. Like you take it around and move it around. And like I said, we're going to be making a Viper that literally clips right on the back, connects right to it.
I definitely want to cover that, Glenn. So when that Viper is getting ready to come out, you let me know because I want to totally cover that on my channel. And I'll buy it and everything. I just want to make sure that I want to cover it because I love classic arcade games and having something to play a ton of classic arcade games like just directly connected to the X-Arcade where I can just roll it up to any TV and play. Man, how cool will that be? That's going to be awesome. So
I need to make a small little projector module for it. We were thinking about that 2 years ago. We found a very inexpensive, like $80 module that was a laser projector. So maybe in the future, a Viper will have the projector built right in, just connect it on that, and then you don't need nothing else. Just find a wall.
Awesome.
Or your wife's back.
Awesome. Well, we're sticking with the pinball thing. It's been a very heavy pinball, probably heaviest pinball show Glenn's ever been on. But let's cover one more pinball thing. Alice Goes to Wonderland is a pinball machine currently being kickstarted by Wonderland Amusements. Wonderland Amusements is founded by some of the people that originally created the designs for arcade 1-up cabinets. Today on Retro Legends, we're going to ask the panel what are their opinions of the Alice Goes to Wonderland pinball machine. Started with a low Kickstarter price of $800, has tiny 22mm balls, Don't let the tiny balls fool you. This is a dirt cheap mechanical pinball machine. You get the panel's opinions on this machine. Alrighty. Hot takes. So, could you read this for me, Brooklyn? I got a huge camera in front of me.
Sure. For those of you, how do you say if I don't know how to read, Brad?
You're an excellent reader.
Like All right. Thanks. Okay.
You got a good voice too. Your mic is louder than everyone else's. So you have the best. You have the best.
I sounded like a moron.
You have the best sounding microphone.
No, Glenn, we're gonna help you. I'm gonna do the first paragraph up to 100%, and then you're gonna take it from there. We're gonna do it seamless, like two YouTube professionals. Here we go. For those of you concerned about our ability to ship the product, here is our promise to you. We guarantee that all orders will ship within 12 months of the campaign's close. If we don't deliver, you may request a full refund. This isn't just a one-time project for us. We're building a brand and a product we stand behind 100%.
If you've been sitting on the sidelines wondering if you should back us now, this is the time to jump in. For a complete info about this guarantee, check out our webpage here.
You got to read the whole
get the hell out of here.
That's okay. Doc Mario says the $800 price has me worried it isn't high enough quality and high enough durability. How can it be at such a low price? Mad Van Hand, on the other hand, says it's a nice looking pinball machine. It would look nice next to a 4KP, and believe they are scaled almost the same. Since this went up, a good friend of mine, he did back the Wonderland pinball, and he said they lost 40 people dropped off since this went up, and YouTubers did stories on this. I guess it's like an assurance that they will ship it.
I don't think it was a bad message. They're basically letting you know, again, with the Kickstarter, with supply and demand, with tariffs right now, things can happen. They're saying, listen, we're planning this time frame. It may go a little bit longer. If you're not comfortable, you can back out. But it wasn't a bad message. It wasn't them saying they're not going to meet their goals or not going to meet it. Yeah. They're saying, listen, it's a reality. Yeah. Things happen in life. Things happen when you're a small company, and they are a small group of guys making a mechanical pinball. And I take my hat off to them. I'm not sure how well it plays. I haven't played it. Most people haven't, I don't think.
Yeah. But it started March 11th, the Kickstarter.
Yeah, but $800 for a mechanical
Wait a minute.
pinball.
I got to do it. I'm sorry. I got to do it. It funded in only 2 minutes.
And most guys are happy with 2 minutes.
It seems like every YouTuber needs to do that, so that's mine. But
2 minutes is good. But I think that for what it is.
Sound like my wife, Brad.
A mechanical pinball at that price is difficult. Because again, you're dealing with solenoids and all those other parts that, again, my only concern about the whole thing is repetitive, boring gameplay. That's my only concern. There's a big center of the playfield that's vacant. Yes, you got the ramps, you have these other things, but there's a whole center that's vacant. And if they don't program it properly, if they don't have things that can
there's not a lot of sensors that tell the machine where the ball is. Like on a real pinball machine, there's all kind of triggers and sensors all over the machine. That's why the lights and everything's so interactive.
That's also why real pinballs cost $5,000 or $6,000, and this is costing $800. So
I need to get this guy's take because I have no idea what he's going to say. But what do you think about this? I'm just curious.
I was about to tell you to put me full screen because I actually do have an opinion on this.
Good. Let's hear it.
It might not be what people want to hear. Might not be a great opinion, but this is just my opinion. I'm going to tell you.
Okay. I want to hear your opinion because you're the number 2 pinball player for AtGames in the whole world.
Whatever that means, right? So if you're going to buy mechanical pinball at less than $1,000, brand new, okay, you got to manage your expectations, okay? And I think that's what people really have to come to grips with, okay? If you're like a mechanical pinball, like if you go down to the pinball arcade, you know, sometimes like I'll go to a pinball arcade that has 50 machines and 20 of them, 30 of them will be out of order.
That's true.
What does out of order mean? It means it's probably something that's so broken,
janky
game
gameplay
is out of order. Like you can't play it, right? So when you buy this machine, you have to know, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but just you have to know that when you have a mechanical pinball machine listen, pinball is a game. I mean, it's a whole idiom, right? Pinball is like this stuff is smacking all around all the time, right? Stuff is going to break on this. Day one,
100%.
Something's going to break, okay? How hard is it going to be for the average person that's going to spend $800 on this machine? You got to know that some of these people that are not going to spend, you know, $5,000, $10,000 on a machine, they want to spend $800. How inclined are they to replace something on a machine that they spent $800 for? Because you know that's going to happen on maybe not day 1, day 2, day 10. It is going to happen. It happens if you have a $15,000 machine, something's going to break on it. Okay. And some of these guys who are super rich that have super high, a whole plethora of machines, they have a tech that will come through and will be like, all right, I'm going to make all your machines perfect. But that's not what this is geared towards. This machine is geared towards a person that wants a machine. They probably don't even have an arcade at all. Okay, they have a room in their house where they want a machine. They're going to put a machine in the corner, right? And I'm telling you guys, it's going to break in the first day. Okay, and you're not going to get a tech that, I mean, maybe you get a tech that comes out there, but like that's not in your budget. Like, you know, like most people that are going to get this machine aren't even going to think about that. You have to be the kind of person that has that bug in your brain that's like, I'm going to make this thing perfect all the time. Okay. And that's why I think the 4K machine is a great thing for players, because, you know, there is no maintenance, right? Okay. A micro switch goes bad. The flipper, you guys, has to be clean. That takes 10 minutes, right? But a real mechanical machine is going to it can go down. Like you're sitting there with your friends, like you come over and have a couple drinks and you're going to play. All right, we're going to play this Alice Goes to Wonderland machine. And the next thing you know, something breaks badly where it blocks the whole lane. And it's like, okay, now I got to fix it. Well, now you got to fix it. Are you going to fix it, or do you have to get somebody to fix it? And if you are the kind of person that really wants to do that, that might be, it actually would be a good thing for you. You know, you're working on this smaller machine where, you know, it's not going to be some sort of huge failure, right? You're going to fix it, but you have to have that kind of bug in your brain to where you're going to be a tinkerer. Because if you're a player and you want these kinds of, you want to have a machine that this is probably going to be something where something's going to break and nobody's going to want to fix it for you, because it's just like, you know, it's not worth their time. I'm not trying to make that sound like that bad, but I'm just saying that, you know, this, if you want to get a real mechanical pinball machine in your house, you have to have that kind of bug to where you want to make it like, it's not about playing it all the time. It's about where you're going to have it working all the time. And that's what I want to say, because I'm a player, right?
You are 100% one of the best players in the world at Games Pinball, no doubt about it.
And I don't have that bug. I don't want to spend my time fixing a relay, replacing a switch, polishing the playfield. I don't want to do any of that. And that's what is so awesome about these 4Ks is that you don't have to do that at all. Okay. Yeah, you might have to replace a switch, a micro switch here and there, but that's nothing. Okay. Anybody who can literally open a YouTube video can figure that out. But if your spinner completely breaks off of your pinball machine and you got to fix it,
what you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
You can't go buy one, you know.
Yeah. So what I want to say at the very end is that I don't think that this is not a bad idea at all. There is a market for this. There are people that this is for, but it's not for me. Okay, I don't have that interest. I don't want to deal with that. And that's why I have this thing behind me. If I want to go play a real mechanical pinball machine, I'll go down to the arcade where they got a guy that gets paid thousands of dollars a year to make it work.
And when it breaks, they fix it for you. You don't have to fix it yourself. When it breaks, they'll fix it, right?
I don't think
I hope I didn't offend anybody saying that.
Man, somebody had to say.
I'm offended, TomatoGrass.
Thank you. You said
it so eloquently.
It's definitely a thing that people are going to spend money for.
We're going to give each one a chance. We're going to give
I spoke about this last week, so I do
each person gets a chance, Brooklyn. Each person gets a chance.
All right. Is it
you
my
chance? Do you want to go next? Because I don't want to be interrupted when I'm talking. Okay.
Nope, I'll go. That was my piece. That was my piece, Brad.
That's TomatoGrass, keeping it real. Okay. You're up.
So I think that this is a great
entry.
No, put Glen full screen. Glen, just move your mouth while I'm talking.
I can do that.
I think it's a great product to be added into people's home arcades. Here's my concern. Obviously, we're so conditioned now to not have long attention spans for anything. So how long, even if it doesn't break, because I hear TomatoGrass's point, but I don't think that this is going to be as difficult as, say, if a stern goes down. I think when you open this up, Wonderland's going to be offering replacement parts, so you'll be able to just take out a section and fix it. I heard them say something like that early on, but that's not the thing. How long will the game hold your interest now that you have this physical pinball machine in your house and that's the only game? So the game is going to have to be
that one game. It's one game.
And here's the thing. I think they did an absolutely beautiful job with Alice in Wonderland, but once you get bored of the game, if it's not a theme, like for me, if they had like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something, that even if I'm tired of the game, I would just want to keep it around because it just looks cool. I do see what's going to happen with these is I think they're going to be successful. I think what's going to happen is they're going to wind up rolling out another table probably within a year after this one that's going to wind up having a better theme. It's going to wind up having improvements based off of everyone that bought this one and gave them feedback. And at that time, you're going to start seeing these Wonderland pinballs like going up on Facebook Marketplace for $400 or $500 because people are going to want the next one. And once you have a physical thing like this in the house, it's about the size of a HD. How many are you going to be able to fit in your place? And by that, look, you see people, I know people that have sterns in their house that if I ever got that, it would be with me for the rest of my life. And 6-7 months later, they're like, oh yeah, I traded it in, because how many times could you just play the same game?
I got bored with it. I went to Wayback's Arcade and I played Mandalorian enough that I could beat it every time. Every time I played, I got that extra game. I never played it and didn't get the extra game. So while it's a cool theme, would I want to own that? No, because I feel like the table's too easy. It's too beatable. And but I think the thing for me is it's one game, right? You're getting one game. And one game can get boring. I could play hundreds of games on this AtGames pinball. I mean, it doesn't have Medieval Madness on it. I'll tell you that. It doesn't have Attack from Mars. You get one game, and then the parts, I mean, I saw at the Wayback's Arcade on their 5th year anniversary, I saw 4 pinball machines get destroyed in one day. And these are with professional techs that know what they're doing. And, a kid goes up to it and they rapid fire the the solenoids, boom, that motor will burn out just like that. I mean, pinballs are by their nature are very mechanical, and I just think, I just don't see how a plastic machine like how it's going to hold up. I just don't see it. And one more, and I'm going to get off my soapbox, but one more thing I want to say. Here's my last thing. How many of these $1,000 products can I support buying from my home arcade in 1 year? Would I rather support someone like Glen making something that's truly high quality with the FU arcade, or do I want to buy a pinball machine that I'm going to get bored of? So this is like a pass for me, because the way I look at it, it's just the quality isn't there, and that's just my opinion. Now, I promised everyone would get a chance, but for me, I can't buy every $1,000 cool thing that comes out, right? This might be one that I might make a pass on, and I might let other people do the what do they call it when you send a product out to be tested, the Q&A, or because basically you're getting this. How much testing are they going to be able to do before it's released? But that's my opinion. I want to hear what Glen has to say, though. I really do, because I know Glen's going to be in the Kickstarter market soon. And this is a big deal to me. It's a lot of money.
About it. When they're in a Kickstarter, I'm going to do a Kickstarter. What I will say is, doing a mechanical pinball at that price point is difficult. Mm-hmm. So I take my hat off to them doing it. I personally think it's a nice looking cabinet, but I have no idea how the gameplay is. I don't know how the mechanics work, but it is a nice looking cabinet. And obviously, a lot of people did like it because, like I said, it was funded in 2 minutes. I mean, most guys don't last 2 minutes. I do because I'm Italian. But outside of that, the other thing, too, is being a mechanical cabinet you guys all touched on is very different than a virtual pin. A lot of people like virtual pin because it's very little maintenance. You got a computer, you got a screen,
flick a switch.
That's it. When you have a mechanical, there are parts that will go bad. So you have to, if you're going into that, you have to be prepared to, like a real cabinet, you're going to have to do some work on it. Solenoids will go bad. This will go bad. Those are things can happen. The big question we don't know is, how soon is that? Will it break in the first hour? Will it first day, first week? None of us knows that at this point. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that it'll play decent. My only concern is, what you guys also touched on, is when you buy a mechanical cabinet like a Stern, you're paying $5,000-$6,000. There's a lot.
And you get a 1 year. They got a tech that comes out to fix it too.
They do, but there's a lot going on in those $5,000 or $6,000 cabinets. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of different things you need to do. This is a much more simple cabinet. If you guys remember the old Pirates of the Caribbean cabinet, pinball that was out a few years ago, it's a basic cabinet. So it comes down to two things. At $800, do you want a mechanical pinball that you could say you have in your house and put in your arcade? And that's one way, because some people buy things to look at or have just the lights on, hear it going.
Just eye candy, right?
Right, eye candy. That's why most women take me home, because they want that eye candy.
But it's the eye arcade hat, Glen.
Exactly.
It is the eye arcade does get all the women. It does. It's true.
They do. So I'm saying my personal opinion is, if I had a choice between a mechanical pinball of that price range or a Legends pinball, I would go for the Legends pinball, simply because it has more longevity, more things you could do with it. You can play arcade games on it. You can put a joystick on and play arcade games. So when you look at that, I think the only people are going to buy this are people who really want that Stern mechanical real feel, but can't afford that. Will they be disappointed with it? We won't know until people get it in their hands. And that's the thing. That's the thing with Kickstarter. Unlike with my name on it, you don't know how it's going to be when you get it. So all I can say is that people are backing it, want that physical ball, hit it type of thing, but can't afford. And again, I can't blame them. $5,000 or $10,000 for a pinball machine.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of goddamn money.
Let's face it. The common average Joe, that's out of their price range.
It is. It is. I would love honestly the old Space Raider cabinet, or the old Haunted House, Black Hole, Addams Family, or Star Trek. I would love those physical cabinets. Can't touch them with a 10-foot pole. It's too expensive. And when they do break, it's a lot of money to fix them.
Thank you, Ray.
Yeah. I still don't think that this is going to be as difficult to fix as if a Stern goes down.
There are some people, I get people, again, being what I do, a lot of people not technical. I mean, a lot of people they can do things. A lot of people buy this thing don't. They buy it and just expect it to work. They're the Apple iPad, iPhone guys. They just want to buy it, have it work. They don't understand electricity. They don't understand what a solenoid is. They don't understand that part. So to you and us and people in this chat, it probably wouldn't be hard to do. But other people who might buy this really have no idea how to fix anything. They have to have
and I
definitely
I want to build off of that. He's exactly right. It was a thing when we were starting with this. I'm going off on a huge tangent here, but it's like we're starting to do this VPX standalone stuff. Okay, I'm not trying to make a complete comparison, but you got to know that there's a lot of people that when they go down a certain path and they're gonna buy this machine or install this thing, they just expect it to work, and when it doesn't work, they just throw their hands up and they're like, I don't know.
Yep.
Okay. It is not, and nothing against the people that, when something goes wrong, there's a lot of us that are that it's easy. It's super easy to fix. You just change this and it's fine. Okay. But you got to know that there's a lot of people out there that, when they spend the money, especially on these machines, like that's $1,000 machine. Okay. Like they're forking out $1,000. God forbid that thing goes down day 10, even day 10. Like what I don't. They don't have a guarantee. Maybe they do, but I mean, who's to say?
They have a 1 year.
1 year. Okay, that's fine
for people who are backing the Kickstarter.
So that's you're absolutely right. Okay, so within 1 year they can make a case, but let's say they're on day 40 and something goes wrong, right? Now it's the ball is in their court, right? They have to do something. They have to either reach out to somebody that can fix it. I mean, you and I, we can, if a spinner goes down, we can go in there and fix it. You and I'm 100% confident you and I can go in there and fix it. Okay, but the person that this is geared towards is not that person. As far as I can see, the person that this is geared towards is person that is looking to get into that. And maybe they're probably not as experienced in that, right? If a person is really experienced and they can actually fix this kind of stuff, they probably would buy something that is, a little older, and they have to do a little bit of refurbishment on their own end, and they'll do that. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not discouraging anybody from buying this. Okay, I think it's a good idea, and I think the market is there, but it would be really sad for people to think that I'm going to get into the mechanical pinball market. And the next thing you know, something goes down and they're like, well, I didn't really, I mean, I'm not really like a tinkerer. I mean, I'll find somebody that can do it. And then, they go to find somebody that can do it and they're just not there. That is what I'm trying to, I'm like I said, I'm not discouraging anybody from getting it. And definitely, if you and I bought it, I know 100% if that spinner broke down day 2, Brooklyn, you could fix it. I could fix it. Glen could fix it. Papa Brad could fix it. We will fix it. But what it just worries me that they're gearing this towards people that probably can't. And then where do you go? Yeah, I'm not going to try to get a warranty on a broken spinner on a mechanical pinball machine. That's just not viable. That's not a real thing. So that's all I'm trying to say. And like I said, I'm not trying to discourage anybody, but that is what I'm worried about. I would hate to be that person that is just like, oh, I just spent $800 on this thing and it's broken. And
it's going to happen regardless. With the amount of backers that they have and how many of these they're going to have to produce, obviously something's going to happen to somebody's, but hopefully we just don't start to see like we've seen in the past with some releases where everybody starts to have the same issue. And
and I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that would happen at all.
How can I expect more from the people that made this? This was what was delivered to me, and this was not a good pinball experience at all. So we talked about basically 3 different pinball ideas. We talked about playing pinball in VR, which is going to be a brand new experience. So we don't really know how good that's going to be, but I have a feeling it's going to be pretty strong because Zen, they do get behind things. And I think it's the X-Arcade, I know, is fantastic as a controller. So that looks promising to me. We talked about AtGames Pinball, and then we have Wonderland. I mean, do you think that Wonderland is going to affect people buying AtGames pinballs? Because how many $1,000 home arcade products are people going to buy? Because these are hitting the $1,000 price point.
Brad, I wouldn't be surprised when you start showing up in people's homes that you're going to see them next to their 4KP or their HD. It's people that are already fans of it. I think one thing that a lot of people haven't discussed about this product, forget about all the moving parts. One thing that could also make or break this, besides gameplay, is if they do not use good speakers in it. If it has some tinny, poor, because you got to think because of the price. If it does not have a banging sound system and some deep bass, that's going to really take away from the gameplay experience. So I'm hoping that, for the people that have backed it and that are going to be getting these, that you're going to wind up getting good speakers in it.
Yeah. And we're talking about speakers. One of the things is the AtGames, they knew that the SSF kit was a game changer. So that's why they pushed it so hard. They know that pretty much brings that pinball experience to the next level. Once you've played with that, you can never go back to not having it. It's that much better because you actually can. It makes it feel like there's a ball moving around because all these things are drilled to the sides of the pinball cabinet. So when the ball's rolling, you're getting vibrations coming from different parts of the machine, and it just feels, nothing's like playing real pinball, but it's closer to being a real pinball that way.
Here's what I would say, Brad.
Sub Game Freak.
If they didn't make the AtGames so good, sorry, you're good. You're good. If they hadn't have fixed the AtGames lag so well and made the AtGames such a versatile machine, this would have a larger market. But the fact that they've made the AtGames pinball such a good product for the value, okay, we're looking at the same price range, right? AtGames, I mean, if you want to get the fully loaded, what is it? It's still less than $2,000, right?
Yeah.
And then this machine is still it's
$1,600 to $2,000 for a fully loaded AtGames pinball.
So we're not looking at orders of magnitude, okay, on price. If AtGames was like orders of magnitude higher in price, then I could see that there is going to be a market for this smaller pinball machine that's a real mechanical machine because now they got a real niche in the market. But the fact that AtGames and nobody can call me a shill, okay? They don't pay me they pay me nothing, okay? I just
I got the AtGames tramp stamp. They got that, they're tattooed in the small of my back.
Hey, listen,
it says AtGames on the small of my back. So
they don't pay me.
I've been branded.
Okay? And I'm fine with that. But what I will say is that over the past few months that we've had this machine, this thing has turned out to be awesome. Okay, for the price that you pay, I mean, with the minimum you could pay now is you could probably get it at the starter kit for $1,300. You're gonna spend $2,000 or maybe a little less for the whole shebang. And I recommend if you're gonna buy the whole shebang, bro. You got to get the SSF kit. You got to get everything. Okay. But if you're going to do that, bro, if you're a player and because the market out there
is this just the new girl in town
that just want to play. They just want to load up the machine. It works and it looks good. It looks good enough. They're not hitting the flippers and the thing it lags 150 milliseconds, which it was doing for a long time there. That's why when I would look at the Facebook groups, I'd be like, there's a lot of people complaining, but I mean, they have a point. I mean, it kind of stupid. Like if we bought the machine for the Addams Family, which I didn't, you guys see that? That's Dinosaur Dynasty, by the way. I made it Jurassic Park.
That's a collective. That'll probably be, the funny part is
out of one. One out of one over
that
there.
might end up being the most collectible.
It's me and Kathleen Kennedy. TomatoGrass is on a Kathleen Kennedy rant that I would be doing, but with the pinball.
I hear you. I know
I'm on a rant, but it's I'm allowed one, right? I'm gonna get. I'm only on your show one time, so I'm gonna do my rant, right? No,
You're allowed. You're allowed. I want to hear what you have to say. That's why I've invited you on the show.
Are going to spend that money, and they want to play a machine. Give them the best experience they can have. All I see.
Agree, Ray.
It might be really cool for them to have the mechanical thing. It would be. But believe me, if it worked all the time, if every time you pushed on the power button, and do they even have a quarter door on there? I don't know. But every time
they got some kind of crazy thing in the front.
Every time you started a game, it worked.
Not a coin door like Glen has. Not like the FU.
Right. Oh,
they have a real coin door on his.
That thing's pretty awesome. I actually am interested in that. But like, if you had this machine and it worked every time, that'd be pretty awesome. I would love it. I'd love to put it over there. But you got to know that a lot of people that are interested in this, and I don't think a lot of people are saying this, a lot of people that are interested in this specific, this machine probably already have this. They probably are already in the market and they have this virtual thing. Okay. Yeah. And can you imagine, right? Let's say you buy the mechanical machine, right? And now it's a month down the road. It's 1 day down the road, a month down the road. Who cares? Right? Something goes wrong with it. Now you have to fix it or somebody else has to fix it. You're going to be playing this thing because this thing's going to be working. It's going to be working. It's going to be calling you. It's going to be beckoning you to play. That's what I want to say. You know, there's going to be like if I was going to buy it, I would definitely be, I'd be looking at the plans. I'd be like, all right, if this breaks, I'll know how to do this. I'll do that and do that. But if you're going to buy it, that's what you need to do. You need to have that bug. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Respect. But I just think
you're not wrong.
That's
I don't disagree. Really, honestly, I'm kind of in the same boat. But
we'll see if they have.
I love this 4K so much. Like the biggest selling point of the 4K is the fact that it just works all the time.
TomatoGrass.
It works. I turn on the button.
You flick the switch. It works.
I load up the table. It works. And people want to complain all the time on Facebook.
You know what?
About how this doesn't work. That doesn't work. Okay.
My Viper arcade works every time. I flick the switch. I'm in the mood. I want to play some Robotron. I want to play some Frogger. Here's the cool part with Glen's, and I just want to say this about Glen's. Glen's system is completely open. You can put whatever kind of games you want on it. He's giving you great hardware. He's giving you. It's going to be set up for people that love multicades. I think Glen is going to bring us one of the ultimate multicades. It's going to be fantastic. And it's got everything you need. And there's nothing stopping you from making it exactly how you want it. Isn't that right, Glen? It's fully customizable.
Yeah, that's the whole point. The point is to be able to make it what you want. The Build-a-cade, my whole 1/6 or the full size, is to make it what you want, the way you want it. You shouldn't limit anything.
Awesome. So
this Wonderland pinball definitely has my attention though, Brad. I think it's a fantastic addition to people's home arcades. I also think it's going to open up a whole nother ecosystem of people creating improvements for it, toppers, possibly, replacements for the plexiglass for actual real glass. So I think people are going to start pimping them out. I don't think, stuff can break. There's a lot more chances of something breaking, but I don't think the repairs will be terrible. I have a feeling that they have it in place where if something goes down, they'll be able to, you'll be able to get a replacement part for the area that's causing you issue. But we'll see. Yeah. I mean, TomatoGrass is right. Like, there's a lot of moving pieces to it, and if one thing goes wrong on your pinball table, like especially if you're someone that's playing to be on the leaderboards, and now you can't because something's not registering right or something's not working. Now you basically really can't play it until what, a couple of weeks, a month, who knows, how long till you get the part, and then you have to be able to fix it without causing damage to something else. How easy is it going to open?
100% agree with you, buddy.
I don't expect that these are going to lift up like a stern so you can work on it. So how easy will it be to, like, how much of a process is it going to be if just one little small thing that is an easy fix goes down? Well, how difficult of a process is it going to be to get access to that, to fix it? Are you going to have to take the whole thing apart, flip it over, I don't know.
If you're using like cheap wood, like press board type wood, how many times can you unscrew and screw in the things that hold down the glass? Balls get stuck all the time on pinball machines.
Nothing's worse than your balls being
perfectly,
stuck. Nothing.
Perfectly working machines. Your ball just gets stuck. It gets in the wrong spot.
Yeah. So if that happens, like how easy is it to either shake it or take the plexiglass off?
Look, I'm not trying to fool
anybody. Is it plexiglass or glass?
It's totally
it's plexiglass. For $800, Glenn, it's not glass. Yeah, I heard it's plexiglass. So just hopefully the ball doesn't hop too much and hit it, because you know how easy plexiglass, even if you wipe that stuff, it starts to get micro scratches on it.
Yep.
I kind of feel like this too. Like there's like Big Edie's talking about price. But let me tell you this. Sometimes it's worth it to spend a little more and buy something once and get the right thing and get something that's going to last. I can say this about everything I bought I am a hardcore arcade gamer, and I use that equipment all the time, and it's held up. So like when I buy something from Glen, I know I'm getting something that's at the very top quality, because Glen cares about delivering an awesome product. He wants us to play the games with the right controls. He doesn't want us playing
I'm going to be honest.
Burger Time with the 8-way gate. He wants that 4-way gate on there so the moves work.
7 years. I've been doing this 7 years. I've not had anyone come back to me and say that something's broke. I haven't had it happen.
Let me say one thing too.
Get what you pay for, right? Shalada Love hit it on the nail. You get what you pay for. Like that,
one thing that I want to say to clear the air is that this is not something that I wouldn't buy. Okay, I'm not saying that it's not worth it. I'm not saying that it's just whatever. I'm saying that there's a market for it, and perhaps I might be interested in it. I might be interested in buying that. I just think that the person who's going to buy that needs to know what they're getting into.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's bad.
Like marriage.
I think that it's probably pretty good. It's probably going to end up being pretty badass, if you want my opinion. But I just think that people need to know. Okay, people need to know what they're getting into. That's the only point that I wanted to make. I'm not saying.
And we don't. There's too many unknowns. There's too many unknowns.
On that, we have to make a big point on that marriage. Same thing. You need to know what you're getting involved in, guys. Just putting it out there, okay?
Yep. Thank you. Glen is saving us all. Glen is saving us all.
Buy V-pin, don't get married. There you go.
That's right. Yeah, I'm actually kicking my wife out of the house to replace her with the Wonderland pinball.
The Wonderland pinball. You will be so happy.
I want a fembot. Dang it, man. They got those new AI robots, man. I don't know.
Okay. Good. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, we're going to change subjects. Here's our next subject. Of course, we're going to talk about iconic arcade, the XXL machine. Brand new competitor in the home arcade space. This is a Raspberry Pi 5 equipped arcade. Project led by John D., famous of Arcade 1-Up hype. Let's find out what the panel's opinions are of the iconic arcade, and we are off. We are off. Okay.
TomatoGrass passed out.
TomatoGrass is off.
He should have taken a breath.
He needed a break. He needed a break after all that energy. We'll give him a little break. And we'll talk about this. Wait a minute. I got something to share first. I got something to share. I got some pictures, some scoop pictures. You ready for some scoop pictures? Here we go. We got some new pics coming up. Boom.
There you go.
You got the double dragon. These just leaked out. You got this mug right here. I don't know what that's a double dragon. Is that a new version of it?
Yeah, that's Double Dragon Revive. You'll actually be able to get that on your home consoles, but it's really cool to see that they're actually doing a cabinet. I don't know if it's just for this event or if they're actually going to release that. But that's pretty cool to have that.
Here's all the pics, man. We're leaking them right here. We got them right here.
All the buttons on that thing.
Look at that, man. Look at that. Oh yeah, it's got what 6, 7, 8 buttons.
Crazy.
Why didn't they put them on the end and make it 8 buttons long though? Why'd they put them underneath? That's a weird spot to put them.
Looks like they ran out of space.
Yeah, maybe it was going to hit the other joystick. Iconic arcade in the news. Oh my God. It's scarring Glen.
My
Glen,
opinion
are
on
these
these.
the people that ripped off the Tron joystick? I'm curious. Which part of Arcade 1-Up was specifically the people? Because I definitely don't want to support anyone that would rip off an independent businessman like you that created something great.
What I'm going to say is this. Iconic Arcade is out there. They're building a machine. If you like it, support it. You know, one of my new 2025 resolutions is try and let things go as best I can.
Yeah.
So Arcade 1-Up was the company that did it. This is not Arcade 1-Up. It's Iconic Arcade. So there's new people, new things. Now from those pictures, they look nice. I mean, looking at them, they look nice. The artwork looks nice. The deck looks nice. It looks nice. The truth will come out is when people start getting them, how they hold up,
how they play,
how they play. But I gotta admit, I saw a little video of BCom was out there. It looked like he was playing it. The screen looked pretty decent. It's a wide screen, but again, you're talking still $800 for it. It's a Raspberry Pi 5 with 2 GB of RAM. Wait and see. I mean, to be honest, I'm gonna be honest.
Not the greatest arcade gear, but
I have to admit that Double Dragon is not the best gameplay game. I'm sorry, it's kind of boring.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're gonna do it right, you gotta get the emulation right with the slowdown too, which iArcade was really good at. But that slowdown has to be there, or that doesn't play like the real arcade game. I think troubles are brewing for them, though. Things are not going so good over there at Iconic Arcade. I think they're having some issues. There was a
there is a cease and desist supposedly on them. I mean, we've never seen the paperwork yet. I mean, it's been talked about. A lot of people say it's there. That doesn't mean you won't get it, though. A cease and desist does not mean they can't sell it. It just means that there's something in there that someone like Arcade 1-Up feels is infringing on their stuff.
Glenn, let me tell you, do you think it was a good idea that they had YouTubers go out there and say, this was made at the same factory as Arcade 1-Up? Then they actually showed the parts being assembled that are exactly the same as Arcade 1-Up.
I mean, it was.
Was that a good decision? I don't know if that was a good decision.
I'm going to say, here's the thing. Arcade 1-Up has sold a ton of stuff. You know what to expect when you get it. So if you know what to expect and you still want to spend $800, there you go.
Oh my goodness, we gotta get.
Well, I think these are great, Brian.
TomatoGrass.
Is some people like to have. Not everybody wants a multi-cade. Some people just like to have the rows and the whole and feel in their place.
That's why I say you go with a Glentendo instead.
And at this point, Arcade 1-Up is just fizzling out. They never do anything that like the real hardcore people that love their products want. So I look at this as Arcade 1-Up 2.0.
Arcade 1-Up. No, wait a minute.
But the difference is I think
this is Arcade
people will finally start to. Well, that too. But I think
fun.
So I think with the combination of all of these, everyone's going to finally get the Arcade 1-Up style cabinets that they have been wishing for.
You get one.
So
of these
it's a good thing.
You gonna get this thing?
No, that's ridiculous, dude.
Why
would they put a widescreen on that?
The 16:9, the slim back like that. That's just how I remember it.
They're going backwards, and you can. All the signs are there that everything that they're putting out is to cut costs, but to still make as much money off of their popular IPs. So I think that these other companies are going to wind up leaving Arcade 1-Up in the dust, and everyone's going to move on. Again, for the people that love to have rows and rows of these cabinets in the house, but never got what they wanted from Arcade 1-Up after asking for years. I think between these two companies, everyone's going to wind up getting what they want. So it's nothing bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, the interesting thing is there's lots of things coming down the road, right? We got the Basic Fun, which I don't know if you know anything about them, Glenn. It's a big question mark. Are they using your yoke? The Basic Fun? Oh, look at that smile. I don't know.
No,
is that they're not using your yoke?
I have not had any conversation with Basic Fun in about 6 years.
Okay.
So my guess
I know you've covered like the little toys they
my
made,
guess
like
is
the
to be
little toy
identical
arcades.
to what was in the one.
Star Wars, the Arcade 1-Up. Okay. Well, that's cool. So you don't have any connection with Basic Fun?
I have not talked to him in about 6 years.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
But hopefully mine will work in there. So when there's breaks, you can put mine in. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. You kind of like you took that like where like you I had the Atari Tempest cab until I put your trackball in it. It wasn't that great. I mean, it
no
was
one's got
playable.
better balls than I do.
You got the best trackballs. I got to say, balls. It was the balls. The ball made all the difference, man.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone wants my balls.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn's actually his real balls can light up in different colors in person.
That's true too. Yeah. You want blue balls? I'll give you blue balls too.
Oh my goodness. We got a question. Will the Glen's FU have all the controls available for purchase?
Yeah, so we will definitely. Obviously, it comes with the Ultimate Control Panel, which anyone has the iArcade Ultimate Control Panel will know what that is.
I will say this about the Ultimate Control Panel: it is the perfect control panel for a basic multicade. Like 90% of games, you got what you need. You got spinners, you got great buttons, you got good joysticks, you got a trackball that's great. So you got the right tools to play. I mean, you can't play every game on one machine. It would be ridiculous how many controls you'd need to have. But it plays, I'd say 90% of like what you want to play. It's just set up with,
with gate switchers for that too. But we will be offering the GRS 1977 Space Opera controller. We'll offer the 1982 Inside a Computer controller. We'll have the Golden Tee trackball. We'll have obviously the Akari Warriors Super Joysticks. Those will, and the Sinden Target Pros. Those are the ones at the launch. But we will be offering other decks, and again, Do Stuff Retro Arcade, 99 Lives Arcade, and other people will make other custom control decks. So if you wanted, I don't know, you wanted two four joysticks, you wanted 4 spinners, you wanted a stick and a joystick and a ball, those all come from third parties. You can customize it and make it there. Oh, and I'm not sure we'll make it for launch, a keyboard controller, but the joystick will rotate. So you can make it a Donkey Kong, center joystick, a Donkey Kong stick, and just turn it 45 degrees and lock it in place for Q-Bert and Congo Bongo.
Well, that'd be cool.
What about just a console that 2 light guns drop into for a light gun cabinet?
We're going to be offering 2 Sinden Target Pros in one of the packages. As far as it dropping in, as far as it
holsters on the side,
it'll have to go on the side. It can't go in because we have the keyboard drawer that'll come out. And the other decks will be below it, so it couldn't go inside. It'd have to go on the outside.
Some people, even with your FU cabinet, they're just going to get it, and they're just going to get one control scheme because they just may have a dream cabinet they always wanted to have, and you can have
a Popeye or a Donkey Kong.
Yeah, you can have it where you boot it up, and it just boots up right to that game.
Absolutely, and that's why we're also offering, because people actually asked for it. I was shocked. We're gonna have a deal for like 2. You want to buy two cabinets at the same time? I mean, they did it for the pinball machine, right? They have the Alice in Wonderland 2-pack. We're gonna do a 2-pack.
Okay. So let me talk about one more thing. Let's say I wanted to talk about other tournaments that are going on. Let me pull this up real quick. We've got pinball. We've got Arcade Talk tournament going on. Playing no good Gophers. And there's the code that will be on Pinball Effects. I'd also like to call out Calling All Ballers, another group where you can play pinball. They're playing Donkey Kong right now. So you can play that on any multicade, just like my show. They use the iScored, so you can play these games and just enter your score on your phone. They're playing Donkey Kong, Star Wars, Battle of Mimban, FX3, and Pool Champ Deluxe on the AtGames HD or 4K. So check out Calling All Ballers, the Facebook group led by Gregory. He's awesome. Amused
that
guy's
to death. A jerk.
He is pretty awesome. Here's one last shot of the QR codes for the show. These are the 3 games we'll be playing this week: Asteroids, Addams Family, and Sea of Thieves. Okay. Should I give out a $25 gift card? What you think?
Yes, I think I should win because I had to suffer such a huge embarrassment.
Yeah. Well, you're on. I think you're on the list. Okay, so here they go. I'm gonna throw them on there. Let's see. Better make myself full screen so people don't think I'm cheating. Let me make myself full screen. I'll try to go quick. Let's see. This for a $25 AtGames gift card. If you don't like AtGames, we'll work something else out. We got Chilada Love going in. We got Wyo, who just won. He won the previous week. Wyo, if you win, you can pick who wins. We're gonna do 1 month. You can win once per month. But then if you win, you can pick someone else. You can decide who gets the card. Dave LB, thanks for playing. House of Hounds, thanks for playing. You're going in. Muse to Death, thanks for playing. BalyDern, thanks for playing. These are all people that played in our high score challenges. Papa Brad, I don't put myself in my own contest, but I did play. High scores on tap. Checkout Girl. These are all the players that played this week. Look at this. The Therexershow. Going in there. Boy, if he won the AtGames, that would be funny. Let's see. TomatoGrass. Good luck. We got Nix. Sacro. Last but not least, T. McCloskey. Shaking them all up. Okay, here we go. Good luck. I don't know who's going to win. Dun, dun, dun! TomatoGrass! Congratulations! You just won a $25 gift card. Congratulations!
I like to thank the Academy. You know what's funny?
Yes.
It was
your
just
rant.
like
your rant alone was worth the $25.
I got
but
this
yes,
bag,
it was randomized.
This guy wins everything.
He does. Not only does he win all the pinball games.
Wait a second. He didn't sleep with someone else's wife, did he?
So, TomatoGrass, I got a $25 gift card. And the best part, my gift cards, guess what? You can buy Zen tables. You can buy anything you want. You can get Zen tables, whatever you want.
Thank you, Brad. I appreciate that, buddy.
And, please play in the tournament. We play all week. It's fun to watch people's scores gradually rise and people get better as we push each other to get good at these classic arcade games. Okay, so it's time to play a game. We're going to play some Asteroids Deluxe. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
You want to go first? Okay. Yeah. Brooklyn's going to go first. So Brooklyn's going to go first.
You want me to go first?
This game was picked by Glen. Glen, can you tell us a little bit about Asteroids Deluxe? Tell me a little history on this. I bet you he knows all the history. If you've ever watched Glen's channel, he does great videos where he tells you all about the games. Tell me a little history on the Asteroids Deluxe.
Well, Asteroids Deluxe was the follow-up to the 1979 original Asteroids, and they just changed some play mechanics. One of the things they did that pepper ghost effect on the original machine. So the asteroids actually rotating over a backlash, which you can see on Papa Brad on his screen to the side. You can see the background that they had there. Yeah. They made the asteroids rotate to give it a little more of effect. They increased the intelligence of the UFOs. And they also added a new enemy, which is almost like a crystal. And he comes out at the end of the round if too much time passes. And when you shoot it, they break apart into multiple modules and they chase the player. One of the best part of the play mechanics, though, is they got rid of hyperspace, which I hated on the original. And they gave you shields. The only downside is the shields will weaken and eventually run out. They only are usable so many times. But it's just a faster, better version of the original game.
Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad.
Yeah.
I can't go first.
I can go first if you like.
I can go first.
I forgot to hook up my capture card. Give me while one of you is playing, I'll get that all sorted out.
You're ready?
I'm ready. Let's go for it, man. Let me move this out of the way. Let's go. We'll play some Asteroids Deluxe. Here we go. Okay, y'all hear me? Okay, here we go. Man, it doesn't get any better than this. Oh, UFOs. Oh, run. Run. This is you can play this game on the Atari 50th. Love me some Atari games. Oh no! Woo! It's gonna be easy to beat. Oh! 2570, that's me. 2570. Let's see. I'll do it as a start button. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, we got Glen next. Glen's coming up. Let me turn mine off. Okay, turn this down. Okay, here we go. He's kind of hanging out in the middle. $34.10 for Glen. 34.10 for Glen. Good game, Glen. So Glen is in the lead.
All right, Brad. I'm just about ready.
Okay.
I'm going to switch over, so just give me a second.
Okay. And we'll be playing this all week, so you can test yourself and see if you can beat these scores. 34.10 for Glen. Papa Brad got 25.70. Good game, Glen. Good game, Glen. Let me put on you bought there, Brooklyn? Okay, here we go. Oh, we got some good sound from Brooklyn. Wow. Is that it? Oh no. Okay, this is the game. Okay, he's playing now. You think he was setting up? Okay, now he's playing. It's interesting. It waits a while to put you in the middle to where it's clear, I guess. All right, man. Looks like it's official. Looks like it's official. Looks like it's official. Glen, looks like you were the victor. You were the victor. Do you have Asteroids Deluxe? TomatoGrass? Probably not, huh?
No, that's a negative for me.
But okay, well, there's not a requirement that you have to play the games. But you know, maybe you could drop some scores, especially with the Addams Family. I'd love to see what you're capable of because I know
I can't wait to drop some scores on that.
Drop some scores on iScored. It'd be great. Just you know, because you're just a great pinball player. Let me.
It's been a minute since I played that Sea of Thieves, and somebody took my score from me. So you know,
I love.
Obviously, want to go take favorites, right?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. One of my favorites.
Brad, do you think I have a chance at winning?
I don't think so, man. Damn it. I don't think I did that great, but Glen did pretty good. But here's the thing: the fun part about these
way better
games,
earlier.
Here's the thing: we get like a whole week to practice. So, like, we'll start off low, but we'll get better over the week. I'm thinking we'll get better over the week, hopefully.
I blame it on flipper lag.
It's flipper lag.
Yes.
That's what caused these low scores. Okay. So that's pretty much the show. Thank you so much, Glen, for coming on. Is he muted or is it me? I can't hear Glenn. Oh, I can hear you, TomatoGrass. Can anyone hear Glenn?
I do not hear him. No.
Okay, I think you're muted.
Wait, say
somehow.
something, Glenn. Subscribe to Brooklyn Menace.
Oh, there we
Thanks,
go.
Glenn. Appreciate it.
Hey, look at
Okay,
that.
Papa Brat is legit. I can hear him. He's saying I'm legit. We can't hear Glenn. Let me see if he can come. If he's getting his mic fixed, he's working on his mic right now. It's hard to hear anyone in space. That is true. In space, you can't hear people. That is true.
Right. What a terrible performance. I can usually at least get past the first level.
Yeah, I usually can too. I was a little nervous, but I'll play during the week and I'll get a good score.
I'm never playing it again.
Yeah.
Testing 1, 2.
Okay, we're back. But anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on, Glenn. I'm looking forward to your FU arcade. I'm going to be closely following it. Hopefully, I'll be able to back it. It is.
And no worries. Listen, there's no pressure to anyone.
Yeah.
If we can do it. I want this to be something that people can enjoy. I don't want anyone stressing out about it. I got to put grocery on the table, so take care of the family first and foremost. But if it is something that you want, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, the way I'm looking is I have like a bunch of kind of repetition in my arcades, so I might get it just to have something. I got like 3 arcades. So like I might get rid of one.
Well,
of
if you
them.
want, like I said, you want a Don Con cab or a Popeye.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'll do something, or maybe go with a bigger monitor. Which I think is really awesome because I don't have that big of a monitor on any of my arcades. So I think that might.
We don't shame monitor people. There's no.
Yeah, that's fine.
Monitor.
Well, the original arcade monitors weren't that big for the classic age. The golden age of arcades.
No,
19-inch monitors.
What it was.
19-inch monitors were the most common, but to have a big screen would be kind of nice. But TomatoGrass is about to fall over. I don't think so. I think TomatoGrass is hung in there pretty good. You're a champ, TomatoGrass.
Hey,
thank you for hanging out. You didn't know you were getting in the 3-hour tour here, but thank you.
No. I was kind of expecting that. I do appreciate you having me on here. I appreciate you being able to say whatever I wanted to say. You guys,
absolutely, you're always welcome here.
I love that. Thank you so much. And if anybody's waiting for me to fall over, it's not going to happen. But I do appreciate it, Brad. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Closing thoughts. Do you have anything you want to close with, Glenn?
No, just I'm really happy to be here. I hope everyone in the chat had a good time on the show. I had a good time. And just remember, be kind to one another because, tomorrow's never promised. Make sure you always let someone know that you care. Family, parents, relatives. That's it. Just remember, this is fun and games. And don't take things so seriously. The community sometimes gets crazy. It's just games, man. People are more important.
It's just games. That's right. What you got to say, Brooklyn Menace?
I'd like to say be mean to everybody and fight as much as possible and try to destroy every YouTuber in your path.
Thank you so much. And as always, this has been Papa Brad reminding you to always stay legit. Thank you so much for watching. We had a great time doing the show. And I'm going to send us out. I think I'll send us out old school. I'm going to send them out with this song.
Well, Papa Brad's a gaming. He's got passion in his soul. From pinball tables to Atari, he's always in control. He's a master of retro gaming. The old school style's his thing. With every flick of the joystick, you can hear the twang ting. Stay legit, Papa Brad. Keep the high school living. From the classic arcades to the AtGames pinball board. With the Atari 2600, your love for games will never quit. Stay true yourself, Papa Brad, and always stay legit. He's a lover of the classics, the sound of pixelated beats. Late nights at the arcade with every game defeat. but he'll keep on pushing till he's reached that final stage. Papa Brad's the gaming legend, his passion never fades. Play legit, Papa Brad, keep the high score rolling. From the classic arcades to the AtGames pinball board, with the Atari 2600, your love for games will never quit. Stay true to yourself, Papa Brad, always stay legit. He's a